Hello everyone, Time to Grind here, and today I wanted to talk about Battle Royales and if they can be esports, because obviously both PUBG and Fortnite, as soon as they became popular, they tried to kind of force their games to be esports. I mean, we saw with PUBG, even before the game was in a decently playable state, it's in a terrible state right now still, but when it was way worse before, they were still trying to do, tournaments, and, some of the tournaments, I mean, people were just, getting disconnected, people were lagging under the map, all of this stuff, and yet they were still trying to force esports rather than fix the game. And Fortnite, it's been doing a lot better because the game runs better. There's not as many issues as there is in PUBG. Right now Fortnite is in a very decent place. So when they announced that they were investing $100 million in prize money alone for various tournaments in the future, people were pretty excited because Fortnite actually runs very well. There's not very many bugs or anything like that. So if a battle royale game did have an esports scene, the best bet would be Fortnite. Obviously, PUBG is still trying to do tournaments and stuff like that, and they're still going terribly because the game still doesn't even work. But Fortnite, it seems like it'll have a chance because the game actually works well. Well, they had a tournament in the last couple of days. This was the first, one of the big ones. It was part of the Summer Skirmish series, and it had a $250,000 prize pool for duos. And apparently, it was just a massive train wreck. I mean, there were a couple people that were, dying to horrible latency issues, and the casters just kind of laughed it off and everything like that, because I mean that you can't admit like, oh yeah, they died because the game sucks. You can't say that when you're casting the game. So kind of sucks. Also, they were supposed to have a lot more matches, and I think it was like they were supposed to have 10 matches, but they only had 4 of them. So a lot of people didn't even have a chance to compete, even though they were told they would and everything like that. And what makes this amazing is it was it wasn't a tournament where people came in and played at a LAN. It was where everyone was at their own homes and they were connecting to the tournament. And the problem is there's no spectating features right now in Fortnite. So what they were doing to cast the thing is they were viewing different people's Twitch streams. So obviously not everyone was streaming. Most of the people were. So they had to keep just switching from stream to stream to stream, and it was lagging all over the place and everything like that. And on top of that, every time they went to someone, 90% of the time, it was just a single person just hiding in a corner, or they were hiding in a house, or they were just building walls around themselves, and everyone was playing extremely passively. So, the Fortnite you see, like when you're watching Twitch, when you're watching Ninja, or any of that stuff where they're playing super aggressively and they're getting kills left and right and stuff, that didn't happen here. That wasn't what people were witnessing in one of the first huge tournaments. People were just watching people hide in corners and build layer after layer around themselves. And why the change? Why, when you watch Fortnite on Twitch, does it look like a completely different game than it is in the tournament? And the reason being is because, and I think personally this is just a problem with battle royales in general, but the best way to the way to have the best chance at winning a battle royale game, I haven't seen a battle royale game mode change this, but the best way is to just stay as passive as possible, to not get in any fights until the very end, because every fight you get into, you risk losing. And even if you're the best player in the world, it still would be better to wait and have those people die to other people and just fight off whoever survives than you going out and trying to kill people. Like, no matter what, you could be the best player in the world. Best way to increase your chances of winning is to just hide and wait until the very end. And that was shown here because you had all these people that, in Twitch, they're Twitch streamers, and they play super aggressively. They can get a lot of kills, and they do that because that's fun to play. It's fun to be aggressive, especially when you can get kills, and it's fun for the viewers to watch you getting kill after kill after kill. But when $250,000 is on the line, people are going to try their hardest, and in doing so, they just hid in a corner and didn't really even do anything, and that kind of sucks because the whole, like, when you watch Fortnite on Twitch, it looks awesome. You know, I'm not a fan of Fortnite, I've said it before, but, you know, I can admit it is a fun, you know, stream to watch. It's a fun game to watch people play because, you know, there is a little bit of downtime, so you can interact with your Twitch chat a lot, and, you know, when you are in action, the action can be a lot of fun, but, you know, with the tournaments, there wasn't really any action until the end. And that kind of is what I wanted to talk about because, you know, obviously if I'm trying to judge all battle royales by the way PUBG did esports, that would be kind of wrong to do because PUBG esports don't work for so many reasons. Firstly, the game just does not work. PUBG is just not a working game. So when you're trying to do huge tournaments with a non-working game, you're going to have a lot of issues. You're going to have people lagging out of the game. You're going to have people, you know, teleporting. You're going to have people, you know, dying to random things. You know, you open up a car, the car then disappears, and then it spawns back in your place and you die to fall damage or something like that. Like, stupid stuff like that happens in PUBG. And, you know, if I was going to judge all Battle Royale modes trying to do esports, because of PUBG, that wouldn't be correct to do. But Fortnite was the best chance we had to have correct esports, you know, to have really, really a good esports scene for a Battle Royale mode game. And, you know, obviously we're going to see more. They're not going to stop making tournaments because of this. They invested $100 million, you know, in prize money alone. So they've already kind of committed. And of course they're going to try to keep doing esports, you know, even though this first one wasn't very good, they're not going to stop doing it. You know, they are popular. If they add a spectator mode, which I'm assuming they will very, very soon, you know, that will help out on some things because you won't have to be just switching from Twitch channel to Twitch channel. So that'll help a little bit, but you're still going to have the core issue of Battle Royale modes aren't very esport friendly because, you know, first of all, one of the big things with Battle Royales is one of the reasons they're so much fun is there's such high variance in what can happen because of the zones changing, like, you know, where the circle is converging, you know, where you go, where you drop in, the randomness of the, like, weapons you're gonna find. You know, in Fortnite, you might find an amazing sniper rifle the first place you go to, and then the next game, you might find an amazing shotgun. So when you find that sniper rifle, it might change your playstyle to try to kind of do some sniping. If you find the shotgun, you might try to play more aggressively and get into people's faces and stuff like that. So there's a whole lot of variance, which isn't necessarily good for esports as well, because, you know, it's kind of random. There's a lot of randomness in the game, you know, and you kind of do have to be a little lucky in a lot of these Battle Royale modes, because say you're in the circle and you're waiting for the circle to choose its next, you know, kind of converging spot, you could either like, it chooses and you're already in the next circle and you're like, cool, I just have to stand my ground. Or it could be like, oh no, you have to cross the entire circle and you have to go there because it's completely as far away as possible as it can be from you, and then you have to get there and you'll probably die on the way there, or people will try to kill you. So there's a whole lot of randomness in that, so that in itself isn't helping for esports. And on top of that, you have the fact that the best way to play all of these games is to be as passive as possible, because any fight you get into is just, even if you're amazing at fighting, is increasing the chance that you're going to die before, you know, you get to the final, like, 5 or whatever. And just those two big things are what makes esports battle royales very hard to kind of say is a good idea. Obviously, they're going to keep on trying to do it because it makes money. That's the, you know, there's a reason why every developer wants to make their game an esport, because if your game is an esport, it's very, very good. You know, that's why Hearthstone has tried so hard to make itself an esport, and it kind of is right now because Blizzard wants everything to be an esport, and they can succeed because they have the money to it. If you have enough money to throw at things, you'll have an esport scene. I don't personally think that battle royales are the best esport, you know, kind of thing to do, because it just, there's too much variance, and like I've said, it promotes passive play, which isn't very fun to watch, which in turn makes it less of a popular esport. But we'll have to see. Epic could completely change things. They can add a, spectating mode that's really, really awesome. They could make some changes to the gunplay or gameplay itself, and that make it more aggressive, especially in that. We'll have to see, but as of right now, I don't think we're going to see a very fun to watch Battle Royale esport. And I think if we do see one, it'll probably be Fortnite, just because they have so much money invested and they're going to try their hardest to make it an esport. So I would definitely keep a lookout, and I'm going to personally constantly, just checking in with how the Fortnite tournaments are doing, because I'm very interested in seeing what they're going to do to try to fix these problems. But either way, those were just my opinions. Part of the fun of making these videos is not only talking at you guys, but the conversation that comes afterwards. So I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on, if you watched the tournament and you thought it was actually fine, you thought it was a great tournament to watch, or whatever, or no, you didn't really like it that much. Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear it. And if you guys enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content. New videos come out every Wednesday and Sunday. And like always, guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and see you guys next time.